I am an intersex person with XXY chromosomes and parts of both sets of genitals. Ask me anything. Are both of your genitals well developed? Sorry if too personal, like do you have a micro penis and or small breasts? I ask because I met someone who was intersex identifying as female, and she said she was told that neither genital would develop much, but she now wears a 36DD and said her penis is definitely not what she'd consider small. More or less curious how your body developed if you're willing to share. Asking for a real-life answer rather than what Google says a doctor said. Also saw a doctor in a video interview saying underdeveloped genitals is a thing too, but I'd rather learn from someone who lives this life. No, actually. I might be the opposite of your friend. I don't really have breasts, chest size depends on hormone fluctuations, and I have both a merca penis and labia. Edit, I didn't answer this as fully as I couldn't have, sorry. But overall, more so underdeveloped and infertile. I identify as male, but they/them is fine too, and probably more accurate. When you decided to do this AMA, what was the one question you were hoping would be asked? What is the one thing that you would like to tell us, to help educate about your particular medical condition or anything else? Thank you for being open to this. This type of AMA can definitely bring out the trolls as I see below. I think it's awesome that you're willing to share your personal experience with us. I don't think I really wanted any specific questions. There were ones I expected, like about hormones and stuff. The main thing I'd like to educate people about is that genitals don't equal gender. But specific to my condition, that genital structure is entirely up to a gamble despite there being typical symptoms of each type of intersex disorder. Do you feel different in social settings? I also have 47XXY and have always felt kind of out of place in social settings. I guess I don't really know how to describe it, but I don't think I have met someone that thought like me/acted like me. I have been described by others as charismatically awkward. I have a lot of deep friendships and get along with almost everyone, so it's not a bad thing. Just thought I'd ask since I've never met another person with XXY. Sometimes, yeah. Don't know how related it is to being intersex though. It defiantly was in my childhood. But I understand what you mean about being awkward, and feeling strange in social situations. I feel the same a lot, and while I get along with most people, am quiet and often the outsider. How did your biological makeup change your view of binary sexes? What would be a good approach to educate people, who generally lack basic knowledge, regarding genders? Good question. Okay, I don't think of sexes as related to gender at all really. My genitals don't affect my mental perception of gender. Your gender, whether you are male or female, is completely independent of your genitals, in my perspective. I also can't see sex or gender as a binary concept since there are so many other endocrinological, physiological and mental factors involved. I love learning about gender theory and psychology. Yes, I'd love to educate people. Were you raised male or female? Girl I went to school with was raised male, but when her hormones kicked in she started growing breast. Had to change their name from a boy's to a girl's while continuing to go to the same school. A lot of people made fun of her, but she still had friends and seems confident in herself. I was raised as male. That's actually quite sad. I'm glad it ended okay, and she was able to overcome it. But I feel like intersex kids should just be raised as intersex. How did your parents treat you like when you were growing up? And at school, did the teachers and classmates all acted normal around you? Parent-wise, it didn't affect anything I can see. It was kept very confidential from teachers and peers, but I was bullied and ostracized because I looked different because of it, and often made fun of for being weaker, or shorter than other boys. Did your parents do any gender correction surgery on you? I've watched and read a few things over the years where intersex people are voicing that this doesn't result in the best outcome for the child. such as people being made to look female but then identifying as a male once older. No, but I think that is a horrible practice, and gender reconstruction surgery shouldn't be done on babies. What's your stance on people defining themselves by a gender different from the one determined at birth? Do you take offense to this as they are not scientifically recognized as intergender, or do you feel that everyone has a right to their own body? Please don't mistake my curiosity for ignorance, as I know this can be a sensitive topic. Thanks for doing the edit. I realize is used the term intergender when you have used intersex. Honestly, just an oversight, and I actually don't know which to use. Lol, apologies. Absolutely not. Gender is not what is assigned to you at birth, and they are scientifically viable. Gender isn't binary, at least not in my experience or perception. I'm also studying a science at university. Trans people and non-binary people are valid in their gender. I scrolled a bit to try and make sure this wasn't in here so far. Sorry if I missed it somewhere. Do you believe intersex should be taught at the level of sex ed? I.e., when we talk about how babies are made, changes that may be happening in your body, etc. Do you believe assigning gender upon birth for the sake of demographic and/or medical information should be done away with completely? Or simply expanded to incorporate more than just male/female? I'm not really sure. I think I'd prefer it be taught in biology with human anatomy and DNA rather than sex ed. No, I don't believe that. I believe it should simply be assigned sex at birth and have no bearing on the roles that child has hand being raised. What was puberty for you? Did your voice drop, or did your hips get fuller, or anything like that? You said you mostly look male, but could transition fully if you chose, so I don't know where exactly you would put yourself on the spectrum, or where puberty would have put you. A lot of hormone issues during puberty. My voice dropped and my hips did get wider. I only ever developed breast tissue during times of excess estrogen. I look mostly male since puberty, but I'm pretty short and have some more feminine features. Thank you for watching the video. If you're new, please be sure to subscribe, like and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Post your own stories in the comments down below.